Well, we're going to ask him.
So we're going to see if he went.
We're going to ask him all the things. And then today is Tuesday. And y'all know what that means. We spill the tea for allegedly.
Allegedly.
Thank you.
So my only exciting story is that I saw a turtle in the grass. Allison's exciting story. And it's cute. Look at this. I stopped and took a picture.
Turtle in the grass.
Look how cute he is.
Oh,
he's in our grass.
Wait, where's he going? Oh, there's a pond over there.
Okay, well, he's going to our neighbors, our work neighbors.
He's big.
Look how big he is.
You took a
portrait
mode
of the turtle.
It's your child.
Timmy the turtle. I love turtles. Okay. Anyway, and then though, you know, we realize that a little bit of time without Allison on our Treehouse text thread is odd. And so
Why is it odd, Abs?
Well, because she keeps us informed. And basically, she is the soundtrack to our day. And it's odd when Sinclair is not on there. And you begin to think, is she okay? Like, did she tell us she was going somewhere and we just weren't listening? I mean, and all the hubbub of getting the sign up yesterday, and I had to dash.
By the way, are we going to have a moment for the sign?
Yeah, hang on.
Okay.
So then Allison texts us this morning, right as I'm thinking I'm going to call her and make sure that she's not on the floor somewhere. Help, I'm falling and I can't get up. And she texts and says, I lost my phone for 14 hours. It was a terrifying experience. I will share more later. So there's that, which she will share in story time this morning. But now, before that, we will have a moment of silence and reverence for our sign.
How about that?
It's a big day. It really is. We've been thinking about what to do with the sign, and this is finally she's here.
In all her glory.
She's going to adjust a little bit. We have some things to add, but
I do love
it's official.
That we didn't even plan it this way, but that Allison and Amy Beth, like y'all's names are above your heads.
Oh. Wow.
We planned that? What do you mean?
We
plan everything, JP.
Obviously.
We are very carefully coordinated.
We are responsible.
Don't you know?
It's exciting. I hope y'all like it.
I mean, that's a good find, Allison Sinclair. That is. Now, my husband's going to want a sign. I don't know what it's going to say, but he loves neon signs.
It's just going to be a big poop emoji.
That's it. Juliana.
This is call me,
Paging
Alabama. Poop.
Call me, Alabama.
I think it's perfect.
Done. Juliana Hallman.
Are you crapping me? Not going to say the other word.
Don't. It's fine. Okay.
We are just on.
I'm going to order a sign for him.
I mean, we could. It's not classy, though.
Well, I'm going to put it in his new office because they
classy.
redid their office and they have all these cute little smaller offices. And he needs that neon. Call me, Alabama.
It kind of looks like a roadside diner. Like you would find it out. Where was the movie Cars filmed?
Route 66.
Yeah, like Arizona in the middle of nowhere.
Did you mean to say that with a country accent when you said Route 66?
Yeah,
okay.
It was Radiator Springs.
Radiator Springs.
Y'all, you know that was the first movie I ever went to in theaters was Cars.
Oh. Is it your favorite? Because it's Will's favorite.
When did that come out?
When they were little tykes?
Yeah. How old were you?
That came out in 2006, so I was 3.
3. Okay.
That's so precious.
And I had a Lightning McQueen remote thing that talked. That was my favorite.
I'm having such a flashback right now of a stuffed up Will going Lightning McQueen, but like stuffy.
But what's funny is my 2-year-old nephew loves Lightning McQueen too. So now I've got to give him all my like Lightning McQueen toys.
It's precious.
Have they made Lightning McQueen a tranny yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, don't do that.
Not yet.
That's probably coming.
Perhaps.
Don't do it.
Don't say it.
What was his girlfriend's name? Let's keep him keep them
they
What was
together.
his
were
girlfriend's
so
name?
cute. I don't know, but I loved that movie. They'll stop and watch it. If it's on and they can, they'll watch Cars.
Sally.
Sally.
Not Sally O'Malley.
Sally Carrera.
Yeah, she was a Porsche. I liked her.
Oh, wow. I'm today years old putting that together.
Oh, abs.
I'm sorry.
You were just a mom trying to get popcorn and Cokes and keep the gummy bears out of your kids' hair. I mean, it was a whole thing.
Listen,
So
it's
you put
2006.
attention to
I had
details.
a newborn. Molly
Yeah.
was from 2006, circa 2006. So I don't remember much of that era. Okay. So would you kind of take us on your odyssey?
Well, I really, it was very sobering, very scary. I woke up in the middle of the night a few times contemplating what I was going to do when the sun came up. I went to bed last night and had a handful of stuff. This is always as a mom, you know, you just walk through the house, you're turning out the lights, you're closing the blinds, you're locking the doors, you're, making sure the dogs are okay. And you just gather stuff that needs to go in its right spot. And I had, it's actually my red light therapy mask.
Mhm.
It looks scary sometimes. Anyway, I put it in my bedside drawer because our puppy will chew it. And
Yeah, he will.
yeah, because it's that perfect chewy, like your hat.
Yes.
And I guess I had my phone in my hand with the red light therapy mask, and I just threw it all in the drawer. So I make like 6 rounds because this is my alarm clock. This is my what time is it? Because I can't go back to sleep. Should I just get up clock? And can't find it anywhere. So I needed to send Terry Lathan a link to log in tomorrow. I needed to do several things. And so all night I'm thinking, how am I going to do this? I woke up at like 2. I'm guessing it's 2. I don't know because I don't have my phone. And you start thinking, how will I communicate with people? Jared had to leave early. Collins had her phone. She was there at the house. I don't know anybody's telephone number. So I'm like, what if I am late? What if my car doesn't start? How do I tell JP and Abs that I'm not going to be there? Do I email? I guess I could email y'all.
Laptop email.
Yeah, I'd have to go find my laptop to email y'all. And then I started thinking, well, I guess this is what I was like, I don't know their telephone numbers, but I guess I could call Jared. No, I can't do that because number one, I don't even have a phone. But even if I did have a phone, Jared doesn't have your all's numbers.
Jared has mine.
Okay, so I went as far as to go, I need to reach out to my neighbors
Because they have
who
my
have
number.
JP's number, but they're in Europe.
Oh,
Anyway, y'all, I
my
started kind of
word.
melting down going, this is scary. How then I got real panicky about driving to the office without my phone. Like somebody's going to nab me in the middle of Greystone.
Yeah, obviously.
It's just weird. Think about it. What would you do? I take your phone right now. Think about all you do on it.
That's true.
And then it kind of makes you mad
yeah.
because you're like, I really don't want this. Can I please yeet it out the door?
Yeah.
Did you say yeet?
Yeet.
Love it.
But yes, I wasn't dead. But I figured when aggressively helpful Allison disappears, you do get a little panicky.
Is she
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Check on her.
I saw you
She
called
okay?
me.
I called you this morning about that tweet to be like, is there
Oh.
something you didn't tell us?
Oh, well, we can
Yes.
talk about that too. So yeah, y'all had a lot to contemplate while I was looking for my phone. And for some reason, but God goes, go check the drawer. I mean, I did laps around the house. Laps. And there it was. Right
In the
there by
drawer.
my red light therapy mask. But anyway, warning to us all, we may want to detach from our phones and write down everybody's number.
Right. Well, that's why I don't know if y'all seen the Gen Z trend of us going back to flip phones.
Please, let's
that
do it.
can literally only just call and text. Because, yeah, I mean, you think about it, though, besides the numbers that you don't have memorized, how much of what you freak out about not being able to do is not calling people? Like, think about it. It's
Wait,
like,
say that again.
like how much of what you freaked out about that you couldn't do because you didn't have your phone, like how much of that was not just like calling or texting, like how much of it was like social media, how much of it was just all the other things wrapped up in this that isn't just the basic necessity of calling and texting people like when you need to. It's crazy.
Well, the other day, Jennings and I were going to meal prep, and I had all these recipes. I've never meal prepped in my life, so don't.
Congratulations.
Like, I mean, I don't know. It just sounded fun. but I left my phone in the car. Then Jared took the car and I rode with Jennings. So I didn't have my phone, which had all my recipes on it. You know, back in the day, you'd write them down on a piece of paper and you'd stick them in your pocket and you'd have it with you. Well, unless you left it at home. But we are so dependent on our phones. It is scary.
Mm-hmm. It is.
So I'm not dead. I don't know if we're going to Speaker Ledbetter's 4th of July party. Scott Buttram, I don't know if that was an invitation.
I don't know.
Or what was that? Should we?
It was fun to be mentioned.
Y'all should have seen me this morning. I literally rolled over. It was like 7:00 when I woke up, and I like rolled over and checked my phone. And one of the notifications was Scott Buttram mentioned you in a tweet. I was like, "Ooh, what could this be?" It was like, I can't wait to see the Rightside crew tags me at Ledbetter's breakfast July 4th. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, my first thought was, okay, Allison volunteered us last night and is going to come in and be like, oh, guys, by the way, we're going to Ledbetter's birthday. And so then that's why, 4th of July party. And that's why I called you. And you would have just heard me in like my morning voice go like, is there something you need to tell me?
Done, Sinclair?
Is there something you need to tell us? But yeah.
I need to look and see. Because it's a thing. He does it every year.
Where? Well, I don't want to know where, but apparently it's very early.
Did somebody say 6 a.m.?
Buttram said newbies get there at 6 a.m.
See, I don't know. I kind of like it's a little bit of, I kind of feel special that he invited us.
Or did he? And now Ledbetter's like, oh, girls, come. JP, come on.
Ledbetter's like, Scott, I don't want them to come.
Scott.
Oh, it's actually.
Oh, dear.
It's actually Saturday, July 4th.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
At 7:30 a.m.
Oh, heavens. A breakfast?
Huh?
Where? Does it say? Or do you have to RSVP to get the locale?
No, it's at the Henniger Community Center. Speaker Ledbetter put it out on his socials. The 11th annual Ledbetter Livingston 4th of July breakfast.
Is it in Rainsville?
Well, where's the Henniger Community Center?
Here, I'll look it up.
Thank you. I think that's in Rainsville. Maybe it's in Montgomery. I bet it's in Rainsville, though. Or Plainview.
Heard about it.
Wait, how do you spell Henniger?
Henagar. He said Jeff Poore comes every year, but Dale Jackson never shows up.
Okay, well, it's in Henniger, Alabama, wherever that is.
Oh, well, that makes sense. Because
how far away? Hey, Siri. How far away are we from Henniger, Alabama?
It's just north of Rainsville.
So why do newbies show up at 6? Because everybody wants pancakes fast? Or is it because it sells out? Or I don't think there's a cost. It doesn't say there's a cost.
Guys,
or is that just the joke?
Maybe the non-VIP people get there at 6. Maybe Scott was saying, hey, Rightside crew, y'all are VIP. You can get, but everybody else.
Thanks, Scott.
I don't know about that one.
We'll find out tonight or tomorrow.
Are y'all going? I'll be at the lake.
That's we're hosting a block party, so I don't know how that's gonna go.
JP?
I don't know if I can attend that one either.
If you go,
I'll be in the Hunts Vegas.
Scott, because he said
you're the closest.
I will be the closest. I'll be in Hunts Vegas.
All right, let us know if you go.
Yeah. Okay, friends. Now it's time for the word of the day.
Three, 2, 1.
Jazz Hands completes it. Guys, this word is perfect. It's it applies to the SCOTUS ruling in regards to birthright citizenship, which we will talk about.
Dumb.
Super dumb. We're going to find synonyms for the word dumb, okay, by the time we get around to this story. But to be this is to be deprived or robbed of something, or to lack something that you need, want, or expect.
Like Allison with her phone.
Yes.
Panicky.
Hoodwinked.
Starts with the B. The sentence, I'm not going to put this word in it. They appear to be completely blank of new ideas.
Destitute.
Close.
Depraved.
Close.
Okay, well, Brad
Empty.
from Crimestone guesses.
Brad.
He's probably gonna get it right though. So
What is it? Does it start with a B?
yeah.
Don't say it out loud yet. Keep going.
Well, then I
Brad.
think I know it.
Okay. Well, yeah, you know it because you've just looked at it.
Beleaguered.
JP.
Beleaguered. What's the word? What? Read it
Are
again.
you ready?
No. Be what?
To be blank is to be deprived or robbed of something, or to lack something that you need, want, or expect. This word is also used as a synonym of bereaved.
Bereaved. Oh, bereaved.
Uh-huh.
Sad.
They are blank of new ideas.
I give up.
Bereft.
Yep, Brad got it.
Bereft of new ideas. Can we fire the Supreme Court? Because they are bereft not only of new ideas, but of good, sane policy.
I'm waiting to see what the line was. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet. If it's 5-4 and Amy Coney Barrett was another, I would
You're
be so
fired.
mad.
Well, we
What?
can't blame her.
Yes, we can. Can
Well,
we?
We can. If it's 5-4, we can because she's supposed to be one of us.
I saved some fun stats for us today.
Bereft.
Bereft. So, for example, Eric Daughtry says U.S. Supreme Court upholds birthright citizenship for illegal aliens, which is bereft of any form of sanity.
Does it have a vote? And who wrote the opinion? And who wrote the dissenting opinion? And what is their basis? Did we not argue it correctly? You don't have standing because you argued the wrong point. I don't care.
Okay, well, I'm reading. Okay, we get to it later.
We'll get to it.
But Clarence Thomas nailed it on his. I think he wrote the.
Oh,
dissent.
we are going to need a
That's
constitutional
why he was
amendment.
at the
Michael, you're right.
house
Yes, yeah.
yesterday. He was like, yo,
I'll just read.
kids,
I'll just read
we're
this
screwed.
this one quote, and then we can do Gen Z word of the day.
Okay.
Clarence Thomas. The court today takes the extraordinary step of holding facially unconstitutional the president's order excluding from citizenship the children of foreign temporary visitors and illegal aliens. In doing so, the court adds to the sad history of the 14th Amendment, which was designed and understood to secure equal rights for the freed blacks, but has instead been repurposed for political projects that the Reconstruction Congress did not support.
What was the vote count?
I can't
5-4.
find that. Was it 5-4?
It was 5-4.
Yeah, makes sense. Anywho, Gen
So-
Z word of the day.
Yep, please. We need something happy.
Okay. This word describes the feeling of being shocked or surprised by something.
Shocked or surprised.
Our example, I can't believe he did that. I'm blank.
Shook.
Shook.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I can't believe the Supreme Court did that. I'm shook.
Yep.
We're going to ask Gary Palmer about this.
Totes shook.
Totes shook.
Oh gosh, I better pull it together.
Mm.
We've got Congressman Palmer.
You've got your pretty, serious shirt on. Did you get that from Ann Taylor?
Yes, as I was getting ready, I was hoping you would wear your pastel as well. We are Easter egging it today.
I almost wore my other thin green, almost similarly colored sweater, and I was like, well, I'm hoping for the best. It worked out.
By the way, we can't move this break, so we're gonna have to get to yammer.
Right now?
Probably like right
Producer
Okay.
gonna produce.
All right.
now. Yammer.
I have a disgusting story to start with, guys.
Oh, good.
Sounds right.
Wenzel's Oyster House has reopened, but now we know why they closed down. You know, the Wenzel's in downtown Montgomery near the Renaissance, which is a glorious hotel. It closed down because they had a rat infestation.
Oh, great.
Now they're open. Cheers.
Cheers.
If you're listening in Montgomery, I might not go back.
Like you need to take a fire hose and spray it down, Clorox it, and maybe burn it and then rebuild before I'd go back.
Wenzel. Who likes to eat a Wenzel?
Nobody likes to eat that Wenzel.
It's such a terrible name.
That's so terrible.
It's kind of like Beef O'Brady's.
Yeah,
I
who's gonna
can't
go to
even
Beefs?
say that name.
Beefs.
This just sounds so good. Let's go eat at Beef O'Brady's.
Just sounds
Yum.
like chili and it stank.
Who's
Sorry.
Okay.
Beef O'Brady's, I bet you're delicious.
Hard to say.
I'm sorry. Winsel's, I bet you are phenomenal now. But I'm never coming back. Sorry.
Okay.
Who's next?
Oh, holy cow.
All right. Do you want me to go next?
Okay. Yes, please.
Okay. Here's a good one. Steve Marshall slams the Freedom from Religion Foundation. Remember, this is the organization that was attacking Auburn baseball in their Jesus Won shirts. He says, all Alabama schools should know that the Attorney General's office will stand with them in protecting the religious liberties of their employees and students. Freedom from Religion's latest crusade is a swing and a miss. So it's a positive sign.
Oh, I like that.
Okay,
That was-
Steve.
They struck out.
They struck out. So I think that's great. I mean, if you got the Attorney General of your own state that's backing you up against these anti-Christian organizations, that's always a great sign. But also just points to that it's freedom of religion, not freedom from religion. Even though that's obviously the name of the organization's name, that's not what the Constitution meant with the separation of church and state. So
Someday we need a lesson on that.
another great move. I feel like Attorney General Steve Marshall's been on it lately.
Very happy with that.
He is very based. Oh my gosh, is that this?
Go
the
fast.
music?
Go.
Go fast.
Okay, y'all, we've talked about this runoff and these elections. Sawyer Knowles at Yellowhammer has a story. 43.8 million spent across Alabama's three biggest 2026 runoff races with only an 11% turnout of voters. Ridiculous. The Senate race alone, pro Barry Moore, guess how much?
I can't even wrap my brain around it.
$24 million.
What are we doing?
I don't know. But you can't win a race without knowing the people. Like the average man in America, woman, you can't run for office. $24 million for one person. Crazy. We'll be back with Congressman Gary Barry Palmer Moore on the other side.
Spirit, the reason I bring it up is because JP is right. In New York City, you've got Mamdani, and he's like, hey, this is what we're doing, guys. Meanwhile, Republicans are like, why can't we be with the spirit of Mamdani, but as conservatives, and with the bravery of Sophie Cunningham that's like, I see you garbage play calling. I see you ignoring fouls. I see you treating people like crap, and I'm bold and I'm brave. Why can't we have that? Why can't we have that on the Republican side? Why are we always apologizing for what's true? Why aren't we braver like these people? For him on the left and Sophie just for women's basketball. Why?
Do you want me to answer?
Yes, please.
I mean, I think we're all bought and paid for.
Mhm.
I am
Fair.
learning more what's happening, watching and paying attention to Texas. And like Governor Abbott coming out and talking about how they, the Muslim community. No, I'm just going to say Muslim because it's actually an offensive word in Islam. I don't know what it means, but it's not good. You're supposed to say Muslim.
Surrendered one.
Yeah. So he is coming out saying they're building all these cities and they don't have permits and they're setting up these separate law and they're doing all these things. You're the freaking governor. Go in and do something about it. But he won't. And the only reason he won't that I can come up with is because he is compromised and paid for. There's no people say he's a lazy governor. Okay, fine. That's real. Like you're super. I'm spitting all over myself.
I like you.
You're super. That's like ultimate lazy if you can't take care of that because they are literally destroying like that video of Houston where they're marching down the streets. The only thing I can come up with is that they are being paid off or extorted or blackmailed or something that they will not do anything about this.
Amen.
I think the bought and paid for is definitely true. I think also a lot of them are just cowards because it's really,
but it's cowards to your own demise. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just like cowards on, well, I wanted a 2% grocery tax deduction, not 3%, and so we can have that discussion. But this is like they are destroying the state you are called to defend, the country you are called to defend, the country and state that you ran to be elected to defend. It's not that I can't buy that anymore.
No, I think they are cowards because there was an issue recently where I feel like a lot of Republicans were scared to do something in the state because they were worried that if certain cities and riots would take place, and if there'd be just chaos, like BLM level chaos. Like that's the sort of stuff Republicans think of, and they get scared to actually do things. And also it's a lot easier. You can sound cool and based if you're like, oh yeah, I don't like Islam and the Muslims. What are they doing? But then when, okay, well, actually do something about it, then it's like, those people are kind of scary though. And they don't do it. So I think bought and paid for is majority of it, but there's also a lot of them that are just flat out cowards.
Then just don't run.
Which is not what you're going to find here.
Which, by the way, I saw the video of Kasich.
Oh, yes.
He did a video talking about the temporary protection status of the Haitians and Syrians being revoked, and how he wishes the Republican Congress would extend them. Like that is still a lot of the Republican Party. Like we like to think that Trump kind of had a revolution, but even though Trump is kind of becoming the establishment himself, unfortunately. But there's still a lot of the old guard of Republicans like that. And I maybe would consider Abbott one of those. So there's still a lot of the stragglers hanging on of the old Republicans, of like the Romneys, the Bushes, the Kasichs, those guys. I think they're still hanging around.
I agree that they're hanging around. And I agree that they are soft. They are neocons. They are benefiting financially from all this garbage. And do not forget, when you bring in what was able to infiltrate the church that Meg Basham wrote in Shepherds for Sale, and we welcomed George Soros money into the church based on the curriculum that was taught, based on the principles that they were making everybody the stranger and we're all the bad guys because we don't want that. So we've got it on all levels. So the John Kasich, I don't know how to say his name, and the Mitt Romneys, even though he's at a Mormon temple, but Kasich, I guarantee, was in church yesterday somewhere, soft. And it is a disaster what has happened. But if you are not interested in any of that, then you've tuned into the right place. And we may be the only ones, and you may be the only ones, but we are the only ones. No one's coming to save us. We have to do it. And we have to call out cowardice wherever we see it. And Ken Paxton is it Ken Paxton? Who's the governor of Texas? Greg Abbott. I'm sorry. Ken Paxton, we wish you well, and we hope you get to DC. Greg Abbott is a wuss. And we're going to be wusses here in Alabama if we don't handle our situation and just ignore all the cowardly people. We have to. They do not deserve to be listened to. They just don't, because they would rather us die ultimately than for them to have to do anything in regards to standing up and defending people. That's sad. And then we're all bought and paid for, like you said.
Did y'all see Mark Wayne Mullen went and did the circuit of him saying that you can just apply for, okay, so we'll get to that. But that was the ultimate. And I think he reversed course, but it is why I'm very scared for November, because we are so demoralizing our Republican base. And that's exactly, and that's what I wonder, and we can talk about it after the montage, but just think about, as we talk through today, it's getting to the point where I go, this makes zero sense. There has to be some sort of outside influence on these people.
Yeah. Because
they're saying one thing and doing another. And at some point, I'm going to choose your actions over your words. Really, every time. Words are pretty empty if you don't have actions. Faith without works kind of empty. You can say all the right things. You can say you believe him, but if your life doesn't change, if your heart doesn't change, if your actions don't change, might need to reconsider what is really in your heart and the fruit that is coming out. And so you look at this administration and you go, y'all are saying and tweeting and truthing all these things, but your actions say otherwise. And I can't fathom that. I mean, either they just hate America or there's some outside influence that is making them do this. It makes no sense.
I think it's outside influence.
And it starts at the top.
And we can get to word of the day soon if you want.
Okay. I forgot about the word.
I'll just say, I think we thought the 2016 Trump presidency was the real revolution in the Republican Party in terms of the establishment being overthrown. The establishment didn't get overthrown. They just kind of put on a different mask.
That's good. Say that one more time.
The Republican Guard of old wasn't overthrown.
Y'all, welcome back to the Right Side. And it couldn't be more appropriate to have our next guest on as we debut the sign. This is a momentous day.
So good.
Because Congressman Gary Palmer also joins us for this momentous occasion. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good. So that's your new sign?
Yes, this is our new sign. Do you like it?
I do.
So I was telling Allison, we go back far enough that you took all the interns somewhere in the Humble Mobile.
Not the Gary Mobile, the
No,
Humble
no.
Mobile.
The Humble Mobile.
What is that?
It was an old Chevy 4-door. It was what every salesman drove. Only mine might have been missing a hubcap and some prongs.
Where did y'all go in the Humble Mobile?
I think we were
To, like,
going,
save
there was a
America?
bunch of us. I mean, I was 21, hadn't turned 22 yet, but there was like 4 or 5 of us in the car. And we were going to pick up paint because I think we were painting the new office.
Yeah.
And
See,
so we
I
were
love this.
It was a blast. I mean, that's what we did.
Look
But
at
the
y'all
Humble
now.
Mobile.
You're a congressman. You're a big time media personality. Has this?
I did
scary
media.
side.
She was Miss Alabama. And I made the mistake, Allison, of letting each one of the staff pick whatever color they wanted for their office. It looked like Charleston going down the hall. And one of them picked this bright yellow.
Yellow.
that
Yes.
we had to have it repainted, and the painter walked out and said it even made him mad being in the room.
What were you? Were you pink?
No, well, I was just an intern. So all the other actual
Oh,
staff members,
Okay.
I was there to learn and get coffee and make copies and attend to whatever they needed. Right.
Yellow is terrible.
But
I'm
I
with
know,
you.
I'm not going to say her name, but I know whose office was yellow and it was bright. It was very bright.
Yeah.
Well, I love that y'all go back so far, and API is still going strong. And you started that. What year was that, Congressman?
1989. It
Wow.
was the Alabama Family Alliance. And then in 2000, we changed the name to the Alabama Policy Institute, partly because someone else has started a group that had it. They're really, I think, playing off our name, trying to raise money. And we were so full spectrum, we covered everything. I mean, we published a book in the late 90s. We didn't publish it, but Regner Republishing did, called Facts Not Fear, how parents and teachers can talk to their children about the environment. That went international, actually. There was a Canadian edition, there was a Spanish edition. It made the front page of the New York Times, the Washington Post. So we were doing a lot of stuff. 99, we helped defeat the lottery. We defeated the tax increase later. So we're very involved in healthcare. We actually, one of our staff in the mid-90s wrote the first school choice bill that
Oh, wow.
it only took 20 years to get it. But we finally got there. So that's API was involved in a lot of things. And Stephanie Smith is doing a spectacular job. I'm really proud of her.
She is a extremely hard worker for sure, and she has done well to continue that on. we have a few issues that we want to get into, but I'm curious, the Supreme Court's decision that just dropped on birthright citizenship. What are your thoughts on that?
Very disappointed. I think obviously you've got the language in the Constitution in the 14th Amendment, but I think if you go back to when the Constitution was first written, then you go fast forward to 1865, 1866, that era. No one anticipated what we're dealing with now. None of the founders, none of the authors of the amendment would have, in their wildest imaginations, thought that there would be Chinese nationals coming over, having their children here, and then taking them back home and raising them as adversaries of the country. That's I think, I don't think this is finished. I think we might have another shot at this later on if we argued the case a little bit differently. I think we have to deal with it though, because this is, I think, a serious weakening of our national security. Because if those people were to come back and be able to vote in our elections, it would be a huge problem. And we may be seeing it already with what's going on in New York and possibly what could happen in Colorado in those elections. I talked to a couple of Democrats today, and they're concerned about Diana DeGette. She's got one of these communist opponents. So you can undermine a nation, you can undermine their culture in a lot of ways, and allowing people to come in and have babies and then raise them basically to with views antithetical to everything that the two of you and I grew up with is a problem.
So you said you might be able to, or we might be able to go back and argue it again and do some things differently. Are there any things that state by state, things that can be done to protect ourselves? I mean, or are we just completely helpless and waiting on SCOTUS to re-decide in the future?
Well, the Supremacy Clause would come into play here. So there's nothing that the states can do at the state level. But the other path would be to introduce a constitutional amendment to change that. But I don't think we have enough state legislatures to ratify it. Hopefully, I'll agree with Speaker Johnson. I believe that we've got a chance to not only hold the majority this time, but to increase it slightly. If we can do that, that gets us to 28 to the presidential cycle. And we've got a much better bench, much stronger bench than the Democrats. I mean, the Democrats basically have Gavin Newsom, Kamala Harris, and Pothole Pete Buttigieg, for their bench. And that's what he was called when he was mayor of South Bend, Indiana, was Pothole Pete. He didn't, I couldn't believe that Biden made him transportation secretary. But anyway, we won the presidency. That gets us to 2030, the next census. And as you know, you've probably meeting a lot of people who don't have our accent moving to Alabama. There's an exodus of people out of California, out of Illinois, New York, and these other left-wing states. And I think when we redraw the congressional districts again, it's going to be a heavy, heavy swing toward conservative Republican districts. I think that's one of those points that I call a pivot point in history. But we've got to get through this election. We've got to get to that to build that momentum, which I think we can do. We do that, it won't affect just Congress. I think it'll affect state legislatures. And remember what happened after 2010, Amy Beth. You remember after 2008, we started Allied Women to focus on the state legislature and what happened there, and it happened all over the country. We could have something like that where we might have enough states then to get an amendment ratified. But we got to get it passed first.
You're in DC right now. I think it's been probably going to be and has been kind of a crazy week. But one of the things that's coming out of DC is talking about the Democrats and actually a few House members with you and the Democratic side that are like, okay, we've had enough of this socialist, communism, anti-American rhetoric in our party. That is not us. Give us the inside baseball. What's going on up there? Do you see that going anywhere? Is it going to be a big fight, or do the majority of Democrats kind of agree with that? And what we see is just social media, kind of the progressive crazies. And we think that that's what it is of the Democratic Party.
Allison, I think some of them are wetting their pants. I mean, they don't know what to do.
Mm.
Last week, after what happened in New York, one of the Democrats who's Jewish walked up to me and he said, "It's a bad time to be a Jew."
Mm.
Okay. And I could see the consternation in his face. I mean, genuine fear, I think. I talked with some others, and I've listened, I sleep in my office there, and I'm in the gym every morning. There are a lot of members sleep in their offices, and so we're all in the gym. And I was listening in on some of their conversations, and they're genuinely concerned. I think they're concerned on two levels. One, they're concerned about the rhetoric and the positions that these people have, but they're also concerned on a personal level that they're going to get beat. There's a Democrat Lockers by me, and he was talking about he's got one of these communists running against him in Massachusetts, and it's just I think that they're really at a loss for what to do. And eventually they're going to have to decide. And, there's only one or two Democrats that I think could legitimately switch parties, but I think it's too late. I think we got a chance to beat both of them. And out of 215 of them, I think there's only two that we could consider sensible as a statement in and of itself.
Yep, it is.
But I think they're going to lose.
It's terrifying. So I'm torn because, or maybe you're a historian. And if people don't know that about you, we do. And we appreciate that. So could you help us reflect then on how far we've come to use that as a guide for the future, especially as we're facing this communist threat that seems to have crept up? It's been around a while.
Mhm.
But could you give us some guidance and insight on our past moving into the future?
Well, what once was considered a progressive movement was really kind of a communism soft, light. It's been around since the late 1800s, but it really ramped up during the Cold War. And you remember in 1950, no, you don't remember 1954, but in 1954, we added under God to the Pledge of Allegiance. I think it's either 1962 or 1963. Next time you see a picture of the House floor and the Speaker's chair, if you look above it in the granite, it says, "In God We Trust." That was put there as a direct message to the Soviet Union and the communist nations because they were very atheistic. So one on the flag, we put "In God We Trust" on our money. We put it above the Speaker's chamber. Well, you've got a group of people now who they reject the flag. They reject faith. You saw this thing where Carrie Underwood saw all those flags on that fence in Tennessee, and she videoed it and then posted it. And somebody said those were symbols of white nationalism. We haven't seen this kind of division in our country since the late 1850s. I think, though, that we're, as I said earlier, at a pivot point in history, an awakening. What happened, and it really started with Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA. I think that a lot of the people in Washington and in the mainstream media have grossly underestimated what's going on among young people. If you guys come up here for the 4th of July celebrations, which will go through July 10th, and go down the mall, and each state was supposed to have a booth representative of the state, you'd be disgusted at the number of states that don't have anything because they're run by blue state governors. I mean, it's unbelievable. So I think, again, this election is going to be determinative for us. If we can get through this and and then get to the 28 presidential election, I think we got a chance to right the ship, to get us going in the right direction. Turnout's going to be critical. It's amazing to me the price that's been paid for our liberty, that so few people vote. And that's got to change. That's part of what I think shows like you guys have really help is to speak to the heart of the people about the heart of the matter, to get people out.
It's actually, and I know you've got to go in a second. We appreciate your time, but I do want to kind of echo what you're saying. I don't know if you're familiar. There's a guy in North Alabama named Jason Bartlett who moved here from South Africa. He was a white South African farmer. He actually posted a video yesterday, and he walks around Alabama, and it's funny what he is just in awe of, that you can walk down the street and you don't have to have an armed guard or things that, but his message yesterday was things can change like that. And he watched it in South Africa, and he kind of lays out some of the things that he's watching happening in America right now and says, I live this in South Africa. You do not want to go down this road. And so I think you're exactly right. We're at this crossroads. I don't know how else to wake people up, because most Republicans, like, we just want to go to work and raise our family and go to church and live simple lives, but it is time to engage. And we appreciate all y'all are doing in Congress. There's some things that we can do to educate, and then you all will back us up with the protections that you can put in place. So we appreciate that. Real quickly, you mentioned the 4th of July. Are you going to go to the world's greatest fireworks display ever? Will you stay up there for the 4th?
Allison, I've never stayed up here for the 4th. I've always gone home and participated in local stuff, but I am going to stay this time.
Yay.
I think it's that special and historic, and I want to be here. But you made a point there about how quickly things can change. Ernest Hemingway, in one of his books, there's this famous question was asked of a guy who had gone bankrupt. He said, how did you go bankrupt? He said, gradually, then suddenly. That's how things change culturally, how things change in politics. It's gradually, then suddenly. And I think that's what the Democrats are facing. But here we are at this 250th anniversary. We just had a meeting this morning with Brooke Rollins, who's the Secretary of Agriculture, brilliant woman. And she was talking about how the founding fathers were divided about declaring their independence. And as y'all probably know, when they took the vote, it was tied. And word went out to one of the delegates who wasn't there, a guy named Caesar Rodney from Delaware. He had cancer. He got on his horse and rode all night long through a driving rainstorm, 86 miles, to cast the deciding vote on July 2nd. Okay? One vote gave us our liberty. And I take people on nighttime tours of the Capitol, and Delaware, each state has 2 statues, and one of their Delaware's is Caesar Rodney. And I think how far Delaware's gone to the left, but what that one guy gave us. So that's the kind of stuff that I think about. And as Amy Beth knows, I'm a complete nerd. I mean, I'm not about the flash and all that stuff. I'm more about the details, but you guys know this, the details matter.
Amen.
They do.
Amen.
They do. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Enjoy the largest, bestest fireworks display. I can't think of anything more American besides maybe Amy Beth would say, grab a hot dog, good old American hot dog while you're watching the fireworks. You can feel like you're back in Alabama, but appreciate you being with us. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks for having me on. Good to see you guys.
Bye.
I do. He is so white paperish, but you kind of need that. You need somebody that can get into the details. You got to kind of have both. And he mentioned that he knows where his wheelhouse is. That's how API has been so successful in what he started, just getting to the legislators and doing research. He probably would be really good. I was thinking probably going to be busy on the 4th, but could give us a good history lesson on the 4th.
Oh, maybe that's a really good idea. We need to
I actually didn't know. I didn't know the vote. I didn't know it was one.
I knew it was very contentious. I didn't know the story about the
Yeah.
man who rode all that way just to break it.
Well, and he has stories that he tells, like George in the Delaware. And I didn't fully appreciate public policy until I interned and looked at the white papers and started reading them, and then started helping to put together voter guides and those sorts of things. And you go, oh, this really matters, because we would be lost if people didn't remember where we came from, how we got here, and how we're going to get out of this.
Yeah.
That really matters. And so we want to blend both on this show. But we're so glad that Congressman could finally join us. And it's like he planned it to be on the debut of our new sign. It was his debut as well.
We'll have to have him back on
the right side.
We really didn't get into some of the policy questions we had, but that was good. I appreciate him taking some time with us. We definitely need to change the clock because our clock says we have
I
like
moved
3.
it up 1 minute.
Oh, you did?
Oh, thank you.
You just know these things. Okay. We're going to take a break. I don't know for how long, but we'll be right back.
A different mask. And I think they found a way to flatter Trump and the Trump people around him with compliments, with money, with like, they're not going to go without a fight. And so I think they found a way to like adjust and find their way back in. And on the left, the scary part is it seems like that establishment may be getting overthrown, because you got the AOCs,
Yes.
the Mamdanis. Because remember in 2016, Bernie Sanders, the Democratic Socialist, they would not let him get anywhere near the presidency. They pretty much rigged it to where Hillary Clinton would win. And I think about it now, the entire up and coming of the Democrat Party, the Mamdanis, the AOCs, are Democrat Socialists. That is their party.
Well, look at Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, I think Michigan. They have several just on standby, ready to step in. And that's exactly right. This is the party. And they're publicly saying, we are using the party because it suits our means. We don't want anything to do with that. We are Democratic Socialist, AKA communist. And they're using the same crappy lines. Well, it's never been done the right way. Well, what is the right way? Because murder is the result of your desires. Like, murder is the end. We have too many years of human history to prove that you have no idea what you're talking about, or you're just evil. Either or. There's too much evidence. And the idea that these young people are going right along with it, this whole hideous idea built on envy and theft. We're just going to take what we didn't work for. Do you really not know how that ends? Of course you do. But what you don't know is, in the end, when you've outlived your usefulness, you're gone too. You just think we're going on the bus first to camp. You're coming to camp. And we'll like put your name on above your bed. We'll just be waiting for you. It'll just take a little longer. But it's unbelievable. So if that sounds hideous to you, you've tuned into the right place.
At the right time.
We are the right side.
That's good.
How about that?
How about that?
How about that?
first, can you, Tuberville, go through the housing bill? What are your thoughts?
Well,
What do
we
you want to
really
do?
need to go back to the Save America Act.
Okay.
And, there's been a discussion for weeks, months about the Save America Act. President Trump has made it very clear this is a top priority of his. So what happened yesterday on Capitol Hill was, I've never seen anything like it. And it was very, very interesting. If you could follow along, because it was kind of confusing. I'm not sure what's at play, but I think this is a pivotal moment that may be conducive to bringing us together in the end, if we allow it. But the Save America Act is still very much in the discussion. Representative Anna Paulina Luna has set up, the House is fed up. The House is like the Senate, they're losers, they're not doing anything. So the House and Paulina Luna have said, we're not passing anything. I think she has 31 House members now that have said, we're not passing any Senate bills until the Save America Act gets passed in the Senate. So the House representatives have shut down Mike Johnson and the Senate, basically, because you can't pass anything without these 31 Republicans. Well, meanwhile, what's happening in the Senate, you've got the Save America Act discussion. There are two things. Well, over there, they're still talking about taking out the filibuster, which is fine. You can take out the talking filibuster. You can take out the zombie filibuster. You still don't have the votes to pass. You still don't have the votes. You don't have 60 votes to get rid of the filibuster, number one. If you do get rid of the filibuster, you're barely, I would say you have 47 to 49 votes to even pass the Save America Act. Okay. At the same time, there's this housing bill that the House passed last week. This is so bizarre. This housing bill is terrible. It's the more we find out about it, the more terrible it is. Of the Alabama delegation in the House, only Barry Moore voted against it. Okay, remember that. But the rest of it that voted against it were your typical Tim Burchett, Ralph Norman, your conservatives that you're like, they're going to vote for keeping the crap and growing government out. Well, the housing bill then goes to the Senate. And this is what JP was talking about, that Tuberville.
Welcome back. My little sister is having a hard time putting her earbuds.
I'll help you.
Don't forget we're doing Allegedly this hour.
Oh, God.
Allegedly. Okay.
I have any good gossip?
My
If you
gossip.
know any gossip, text me.
Such cap.
You
I
can text
don't.
me too. My
You
gossip.
always have gossip.
Well, this one's kind of a funnier, not the bee story that I can't wait to tell. I just hope my accent works because I did practice. Anywho, but JP, everyone, hope you enjoyed our interview with Congressman Palmer. But now it's time for the montage.
Time news.
Tomorrow's going to be a big day at the court, huh? Final day of decisions?
Oh, I guess so.
You want to give us a sneak peek of some of the decisions?
Nope.
The retrial of accused killer Alec Murdaugh is off to a dramatic start. The defense pushing to re-examine DNA from under the fingernails of Alec's wife, Maggie Murdaugh, saying new testing methods can reveal evidence that was not available when the case was first tried.
I rise today in strong support of H.R. 7757, the Kids Internet and Digital Safety Act, or the KIDS Act. This legislation is the most comprehensive, impactful children's online safety package Congress has considered.
Justice Roberts and Justice Barrett decided to cave to the radical left. Alito was so clear in his wording about what Election Day means. Nobody could read the statute, could read that opinion, could read what Alito wrote and come to any other conclusion. It's Election Day, not Election Week, not Election Month, not Election Months.
What are the options for these TPS Haitians that now a temporary actually does mean temporary? What are the options for them, and what is the goal of this administration?
They don't have an option now. The court's ruled they have to go back. They don't have to go back to the country they went to. They can choose another country, and we'll assist you in that. You can self-deport, or we're going to pick you up. What I was saying on Jake Tapper is, like, people have been here 15, 20 years. They had time to change their status if they wanted to. Because you didn't change your status, there's nothing I can do at this point.
Do we believe him?
Time will tell.
Do we believe him?
I don't know. At least he tried
Oh,
to
shoot.
clarify, but wow. Post-election day stuff.
Sorry, I have OCD.
But it has to also do in a massive way with this supremely disappointing ruling.
I see what
About-
you did there.
Like that?
That's good.
Yeah.
Birthright citizenship. I don't think that some of them should be on the court anymore. It's really simple. And it was like, did you say they're going to argue, well, we should have
Yes.
done this and we should have done that? That's what they always say.
I struggle because I get, back in the day when I was fair and logical, I would say, I understand. Like there are rules and you have to follow the rules and there are, legal avenues you have to take and you have to argue you have to ask the right question to be able to have a remedy issued and you have to do, okay. And yet, no, you know what we're doing. And you had 4 other justices that were willing to step out on a limb and rule with common sense, but you don't. What are they compromised? Do they hate America? What?
They hate America. They hate her citizens. We are America, so they hate us. I can only assume that they're bought off, like another discussion we had yesterday. Like, are you bought off that you would decide, for example, one of the issues that caught my attention, and we talked about it weeks ago, was that Chinese women are coming here to have their babies. And it's a whole thing in California. So they're here having their children. They are indoctrinating them into communism while they're still here, knowing that eventually those children will vote, and they will not vote according to the Constitution or to things that we hold dear and cherish. They will not do that. And so now we've just given them a green light. It's not just people that came across the southern border. It's people who came in having their babies, or I saw earlier in the news, they jet across the line in Mexico into Texas or Arizona. But it's the Chinese that have me most concerned because they're incredibly dangerous. So I'm not sure what exactly the 5 of them were thinking, but for the 2 Republicans, swamp creatures, I don't even know what we should call them anymore. They hate us. What other
Well, John Robert, y'all remember that there are allegedly pictures of him on Epstein Island. He was all over the flight logs.
I forgot about that.
Yes. I'm not shocked. Who knows what's true? But anyway, I'm just going to go with it. It makes 0 sense. And Amy Coney Barrett, she is the biggest disappointment and she is the biggest traitor in my book. John Roberts, for the past few years, at least we've kind of been done knowing it.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened with her, I feel like. And if you watch like at the State of the Union when Trump and her interact, it is very tense. And
frosty.
Her body language is I don't know what happened. I don't know if I can't figure it out, but I don't think they started out this way.
Mm-mm. Allison, I don't think it's different than people that we send to Congress or people that we send down to the state house who are well-intentioned and then are sucked in because we're lured in every time by money, sex, and power. Every time, since the beginning of time, this is what gets us. So who's compromised? Who's gotten money? Who doesn't want to give up the power or the prestige or the yapping of all the people that as Amy Coney Barrett has moved left. We went from, remember, being so impressed that she went through her interview process without any notes and just spoke.
That was so boss.
It was so based. That was good. I felt like that
I just wasn't
really
expect that to come out of Amy Beth's mouth. It's good.
And here we are. The allure of the left, that women's coalition on the court. I saw somebody say something, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, but Maggie Thatchers are few and far between. And maybe you said it last night on the Twitters, but I've seen it. Meg Basham, I think. Several of y'all have said, I don't know. I do not want to betray womankind, but I'm not sure we should be on the Supreme Court.
So that's kind of what I was going to add on.
Deborah, she is not.
Sorry, my camera's not. Okay, good. Yeah, I think, well, first of all, when you asked if they were bought off or compromised or whatever, I think, unfortunately, they just don't share our worldview. And they don't see it through the same lens as us in terms of what is required to preserve America. But here's the other aspect that this could come across as offensive. I don't mean it to be, and I don't really care if you're offended, but Amy Coney Barrett has 2 adopted children from Haiti, and I know you have adopted children. You are adopted. So I think that is extremely honorable, very, very honorable, that she has 2 adopted children from Haiti who she saved them from a world of depravity and brought them to the United States and raised them in a loving family. Like, God definitely honors that. I think personally, how you personally adopting kids from Haiti and bringing them here, I think that's a completely different lens than how you should be a civil magistrate. And what is, like, that's 2 completely different things. And I worry that Amy Coney Barrett and the great mom that she is to do that, and the honorable mom that she is to do that, I think that may be blurred over into how she viewed this case, which is very unfortunate because it's like we said, 2 completely different things. Adversaries being able to flood our nation with immigrants, have a baby, and then raise them to be antithetical to America. That is completely different than being a loving mother and adopting children from other places and bringing them here. Like, 2 completely different things. But I do worry that that line was blurred with Amy Coney Barrett on this case.
So what the bigger picture of what you're saying and what you are maybe alluding to is that women are too emotional?
Yes.
Or they make it too personal?
Both.
Is that what's happening with the left as well? The leftist judges? Do you think
Absolutely.
it's all, and is it a female thing?
I don't know that it's a female thing. I think we could fairly and squarely put John Roberts in the category of being compromised. And like you said, we knew from years ago with the Obamacare ruling that he was not one of us. We thought he was, but he wasn't. But then I thought the Bushes were some of us and they're not. So, so that's just meddling. Then you move into the women, and you're right, JP. I think it's accurate to consider that her children are from Guatemala. I also think it's accurate to consider Haiti, excuse me. And then you are considering Ketanji Brown Jackson, for whom the 14th Amendment was written. So she's going to be compromised because though it was written for a proper purpose, they are so quick to bend it and say, well, I know one person, and they lodge their decision on one thing versus looking at the whole of history and of the Constitution. And so I think women can be both very emotional, and I also think that I really think it's emotional. And then they have personal ties, and that changes everything versus being a man. And men, I'm sorry, it's true. You're better at, unless you're a firstborn child or an only child, separating and becoming completely detached from the situation and looking at it with naked, cold eyes and a very good, strong sense of judgment. and going, nope, this is the law. This is what we're doing. And they're over there in their feelings discussing lunch and mahjong in their office. That's probably how they came to the decision. And I am extraordinarily disappointed, extraordinarily disappointed in what came out today.
Well, my dad, the psychologist, has told me many times that statistically speaking, the people on the left are more prone to people and emotional rationality, whereas people on the right are more factual. Not that the people is non-existent, but it's more balanced, where those on the left value way too much the people and emotional and leave the facts, way down here. So I don't think that it's a strictly women situation. Obviously there's a lot of men that are that way too, but women are more inclined to be people and emotional in that regard. So I think that could be part of it, but ultimately I think this is just suicidal empathy. And I think when we're a comfortable, safe empire like we are, we don't view it through the lens that anything's really a threat to us. And that could not be further from the truth. And I think that's kind of the boat where Amy Coney Barrett and John Roberts and others land, because they view it through the lens of the safe regard of, well, what about the dreamers? What about the people who just want a better life? What about the people who want, that's where their mind goes. Whereas the Clarence Thomases, the Alitos, they go, hey, how about the Chinese and the Iranians and the Russians who are flooding us with anchor babies so that they can subvert us from within? How about that? But in their lens, they don't even view that as a threat at all. Well, we're safe. We just want to be loving. We want to bring people in, and they don't understand what's going on. They are clueless to it. So I think real quick, I end with this, or at least in my part with Clarence Thomas's quote. It's another part of the what he wrote I thought was really good. He said, "I'm not sure that today's opinion will stand the test of time. The citizenship clause added greatly to the dignity and glory of American citizenship, and today's opinion devalues that citizenship."
I don't know. Amy Coney Barrett, John Roberts, they are not stupid people. They see what's happening in America. They watch the news. They have been attacked. They have been threatened. They have seen what's happened to DC, where you can't walk around because of the violence and the immigrants that are illegal immigrants that have flooded the city and flooded the states. They're not ignorant people. I cannot imagine that there wouldn't be something in them that would go, wait, for all those people that do want a better life and do want to come here, we have a route for them.
Right.
We have a way for them to get here legally. We have a way for them to assimilate and be a part. And we're for that, even though I'm for shutting the whole thing down at this point. I don't know how, again, the left, I get it, because their worldview is so separate from ours. They have an agenda and they execute it every single day. I don't see how somebody like Barrett and Roberts, who still seem to have a shred of rationality and reality in their brainicles left, can go, this is a good idea, and be able to sleep at night. There's something weird here. I just, even if you do have, it's not like and if they are that naive and stupid, then they just need to step down and go away, because you can still be compassionate and say, let's follow the right channels. Let me sponsor you to become a citizen. I'll do that. Supreme Court Justice, raise your hand. I'm pretty sure they could get through real quickly. But this is devastating to America, and they know it, and they did it anyway. They did it anyway.
It is, back to your original word, traitorous.
Yeah. I think this is a little, this to me would fall in line with borderline treason, of that you are trying to destroy America. This is not what that amendment was about. That's not what America is about. We are a nation of laws and rules and boundaries and moral fortitude and right and wrong. And this is doing away with all of that. This is usurping the most basic right. I mean, think about when you came here from England and everybody was coming over, you knew what you were buying into. To survive, you had to. And now we're just opening it up to whoever that is destroying the greatest country in the world. I don't think you are a Supreme Court justice. You see the crossroad we're at, and you rule to do this to the country you are supposed to love and represent. I cannot buy into that it's empathy. I think it's corruption, and I think it's purposeful.
And
But that's just me.
across both of their foreheads, I think you can just stamp compromised.
Yeah. Maybe it's compromised by empathy.
But I think
the
there's
corruption
something
deeper.
is exactly right. It is maybe the empathy. I don't know. I don't know how you tie it all together, except they are corrupt, they are compromised, and we're only left with the idea that you're one of them. And you remember back in the day when we heard our moms and our dads talking about how important the Supreme Court was, and a vote for Mitt Romney, a vote for John McCain, a vote for the Bushes. Remember, we're voting for them because they can put good people on the court. Do you remember that? I mean, this is years ago. And now you look at this court, and that was perhaps some of the reason why people voted for Trump either the first time, the second, or the third time. Look, we can get good people on the court. And you just agreed to our destruction.
Well, I will say I agree that I think Kagan, Sotomayor, and Ketanji Brown Jackson fall into the malicious end that you're talking about. Excuse me. I think for the Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett, I think their empathy was used by the malicious of the Kagan, Sotomayor, and the Ketanji Browns to come to their side. So I think them two in particular aren't as much in the malicious end. I could be wrong, as like the three others that dissented, which I think they fully just want to subvert America.
See, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the reasoning is. Mm-hmm. They just basically stabbed us in the back.
Well, and I'll say this too: if the job of the Supreme Court is to interpret the law with how the founding fathers framed it, I got nothing for you that you're a justice on the Supreme Court and you genuinely think that how the 14th Amendment is being applied now is how they intended it to be. We got nothing to even discuss. We're not even on the same wavelength. If you can't just simply agree that how it is being twisted now is not how the founding fathers meant it to be. Like, if we can't even agree on that, we can discuss if you think, okay, yeah, it's being twisted, but we should still keep it. But if you can't even agree that it's being misused from how they meant it to be, then like, what are we even talking about? Like, it's so obvious.
I mean, I'm thinking of Minneapolis. I'm thinking of Texas. I'm thinking of Dearborn, Michigan. I'm thinking of Huntsville, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. There's zero excuse for what just happened.
I don't mean to be out of words, but I'm out of words. You do not deserve to be on the court. You just shook hands, blessed and sealed and stamped to telestai. It is finished. Paid in full, guys. Here you go. The rest of the world, have the United States. Because we're done.
But here's this is way too cynical. I'm hanging around Allison too much. But when, like, welcome to the dark side. The Supreme Court did give a big victory with removing the temporary protection status of the Haitians and Syrians earlier this week. And what was Mullen's first thing? Even though he's trying to backtrack, just apply to be permanently here. So it's like, even if the Supreme Court gave the green light to do all that, do you really think much would have been done with it? In terms of, hey, every anchor baby out. Like, do you think that would have happened? I would like no. Which, you know, like I said, even with the temporary protection status ruling, they're still like, well, no, let me explain what I meant. You know, so even if it would have happened, I'm like, what would have happened? I mean, it would have stopped future anchor babies, sure, hopefully. But the ones that are already here would have still been here, I think.
So what you're saying is we're screwed.
No.
Yes. We're screwed.
No.
I'm not trying to black pill.
No,
we're not blackpilling, but we're looking the part about us being believers is helpful right now because we can look carefully at a situation and go, it's pretty bad. Because we have hope. We have ultimate hope, but we're looking at this going, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. What?
How much time do we have?
About 5 seconds.
Oh, shoot.
What were you gonna say?
Every time I catch a glimpse of the hat and I start giggling. Can we explain the hat? I don't know if people can read it. It's actually really funny.
They can.
They can?
Pretty sure they can.
So everybody's been reading a hat that says teabagging England since 1773.
Oh yeah, you can see it. Yeah.
Okay, well, we need to explain that because it makes me giggle. We'll do that on the other side. We'll do some allegedly. Are we going to have our Muslim minute?
Yeah.
Why are you looking like that? We said every day we're going to have a Muslim minute.
Okay, no, I'm just thinking about like the
We're doing South Park.
Okay.
We're doing it.
And we'll just play one of the clips that one of us sends you each day. And I think Allison already sent a really good one for the
I've
minute.
got like
Okay, good. We can do that today.
All right, cool.
We'll be back. Split, which they actually do split on bills quite a bit. But this one was interesting because the day before yesterday, Senator Tim Scott, Katie Britt, who was touting how involved she was with this housing bill, pitching it as the greatest thing ever, that they would keep foreign entities from buying up single family home housing and all this. They're coming out the day before the Senate votes on it, talking about how great it is. It goes to a vote. Tuberville votes against it. Katie Britt and a lot of conservatives, I think only 5 Republicans voted against it. The bill passes. So it's passed the House. It's passed the Senate. So then what does it do? It goes to the president's desk to be signed into law. President Trump sets up a whole big thing. They're all in Statuary Hall waiting for the president to show up yesterday. There's a video of Virginia Fox, who's hysterical. I don't know if you know her. She's probably 90. She's awesome. And she shows up in the hall and nobody's there. And she's like, what the heck is going on? She's just looking around because at the very last minute, President Trump, who has been pushing this bill, they were going to use it in the midterms to kind of be their talking point of, look at, we're making housing affordable again, which is actually the opposite of what the bill does. Says, I'm not signing this bill until the Save America Act is passed. Everybody leaves and is like, what the heck? So then you have all these Republicans like Katie Britt and Tim Scott that have publicly said what a great bill it is. Trump puts out, it's Elizabeth Warren Democrat bill. It's a terrible bill. It won't do anything for housing. The only way you can help housing is to reduce interest rates. Basically throwing all of them under the bus. Then he goes over to the Senate, has a meeting with Republicans, and it gets into like a shouting match. Everybody's melting down. Who was the one? Was it
Bill Cassidy?
Bill Cassidy. They're like, come at me, brah. And Trump's like, I'll eat your lunch. I mean, it's this
Sit down, Bill.
Yeah, it's this whole thing. And now, I mean, it is a mess. It is a mess. But it's bizarre because it's coming out that this is one comment. Basically, we're going to make housing more affordable by paying people to take out mortgages they can't afford and setting up slush funds for Section 8 slumlords and left-wing nonprofits.
Oh, also, it creates a $200 million program to incentivize dense subsidized affordable housing units in our small communities.
$200 million goes to incentivize dense, subsidized, affordable housing. I mean, it is growing government. There's a whole section where the government will come in and pay slumlords their upkeep, their maintenance costs.
Allison, like, honestly, I didn't know about this until yesterday. Then I found these same things that you and I both have. And I was reading and I thought, who is for this? It authorizes a 7-year expansion of the PRICE program, letting HUD, the Housing and Urban Development, and NGOs, national government organizations that are just fake, buy trailer parks and force below market rents.
Yeah.
Like it does nothing to restrict foreign adversary purchases of American housing stock. And at the very bottom, this will curl your hair. It leaves in place the illegal COVID era eviction moratorium.
So let's just expand our squatters problem in America. It is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen, because Republicans were on track, even Trump, supposedly, to use this in the midterms as their big, we're going to save America with, affordability. And then at the last minute, he reversed his course. Now all this is coming out, it's exposed, but you have all these Republicans that have publicly spoken about how great it is. And now President Trump is basically saying he's not going to sign the bill. He's going to veto it. Interesting enough, if y'all remember civics, I had to learn this. After 10 days, if the president doesn't do anything with a bill, it becomes law. It's called a whatever, not a pocket veto, but anyway. But before that happens, the 10 days doesn't start until the speakers or the chamber sends it to, because it was a House bill. So Speaker Mike Johnson would have to send it to the president. He hasn't done that yet. So that clock doesn't start, but I don't know what's going to happen. You have a lot of Republicans really exposed right now, and tensions are building within the party. You've got Anna Paulina Luna, who's shut the House down, who's in conflict with Mike Johnson. You've got Trump in the Senate and these senators that he just primaried out. So they all, like Cassidy and Cornyn, they all have an axe to grind with him, and they're not going to support. President Trump is in a really tough spot. Like, he might have screwed himself up.
Well, it does seem like a bait, like you said. I think he baited them into passing a crappy housing bill so that he could hold something over their head.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Which on one
But
hand,
it's a lot of people that have been really loyal. I mean,
right.
To him. Welcome back to the Right Side. Abs is planning a wedding currently.
Hi. I was talking to my
doing some flowers.
florist. Sorry, she was. Look, it's good.
I
We're
got it. I got
30
it.
days out.
Y'all don't think I pay attention, but I saw those fingers pointing.
It's going. It's going.
JP, I need you to do this. Yep, that's what I need. We're going to Sophie it.
Okay, first.
I think we have some texts.
We do have some texts. Let's start on the Facebook. We got somebody, good morning from Spokane, Washington, USA.
What?
Hello.
That's so exciting.
How is
Welcome
it
to
going,
Alabama.
Spokane?
You're going to love today because we're about to get started on allegedly Spokane. I hope you stick around.
Please do.
Sorry, I thought you had more to say.
No, that's all.
We got Mark Marty from, I can't remember where he's from. He said, Amy and Roberts get money from One World Order group, same group Trump is trying to change.
Oh, that makes compromised.
Hold on. What is that? What the group is called? One World Order group, or is it like the World Economic Forum? Do you see what I'm saying? Is that the formal?
I don't think that's the name of it. I'm looking it up. Nothing's popping up.
Maybe he can.
I think it's probably related to the World Economic Forum somehow.
Mark, tell us what it's called.
All horrible things are.
People of Praise. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to look into it.
We'll
more.
check.
People of Praise.
Who knows?
Like praise the Lord.
That's the name of it.
People of Praise.
We'd have to check it up.
Okay.
Bully Bell says she's responding to Mark Marty. Said, "Isn't it a conflict of interest for them to get money from anyone?"
Yes.
But then she also says, "I'm definitely with Allison. We need to shut the whole thing down and take a pause on immigration."
I was wondering where Bully Bell was. I thought about her last night. Welcome back.
Couple texts from Brad from Crimestone. He said, "Here's my word of the day: secession." Example sentence. As we approach the semi-quincentennial of the 13 American colonies secession from the British Crown, in light of the recent U.S. Supreme Court opinion, Brad from Crimestone County thinks Alabama should revisit the idea.
Hear, hear. I wish
Cheers.
I had my costume.
He also said,
Hey, this is my costume. This is how I feel today.
he said, the House can impeach justices on the U.S. Supreme Court. Just because we didn't manage to boot Chase back in 1805 doesn't mean we can't make a go of it in 2026.
Hear, hear.
I salute that idea.
I didn't know we could do those things.
I didn't know. We learned a new thing every day.
Does Brad you know, Brad was with us back in our old life.
Mhm.
You think Brad knows why I'm wearing a teabagging England hat?
I bet Brad does know why you're
Brad,
wearing a
do you remember that?
teabagging-
So we were talking about the Boston Tea Party. It must have been 4th of July or something, like we
2
are
years
now.
ago.
2 years ago. And Scott Beeson, Scott Beeson is who should do our 4th of July history.
He knows so much history.
He knows so much, but he was talking about the Boston Tea Party and whatever. And I was like, I mean, they're just a bunch of tea baggers. And he goes, Allison. And I was like, what? They were throwing tea. What do you mean? Like they went teabagging. And anyway, I had no clue what that meant. Don't Google it if you don't know what it means. I show up today.
You're welcome.
Abs found a hat. And I think it might be the start of the revolution again.
Clearly, Allison.
Starting with tea. Maybe it would be coffee.
Clearly, Allison did not
Monsters.
play Call of Duty in the 2010s. Know about teabagging.
What do you do in Call of Duty that has to do with Boston tea parties?
Oh, you know, it's just like maybe there's like a mission where you throw tea in the harbor or something. Sure, wink. No, it's definitely not.
Abs, I don't think you were clued in as to what it was either. And Scott Beeson was just, everybody was laughing at us. Anyway, this is an ode to Scott and our history. But I think it's appropriate because honestly, we might be at a point where I think we all need to realize we are at war. We are literally in the middle of a revolution. And you look at what happened in Iran, the Islamic Revolution. That's what we were kind of in the middle of here, except it's clouded with all the LGBTQ, IA 6662S, whatever, in with some communism and just some crazy tree huggers, but mainly with the Muslim takeover. It's all morphing together. Their side is coalescing. They are building their army every single day. They are getting stronger. You watch what's happening across the country in all these cities, Dearborn, Chicago, Huntsville, Birmingham. And we're just like, still, what are we doing? Going to ballparks, watching Little League, planning cookouts. What else are we doing?
We're trying to stay alive.
No, I don't think we know that. Well, yes, we're trying to stay alive, but we don't know that we're actually fighting for our lives.
No one seems to know because we're distracted by social media. We didn't learn actual history in school. Even when we were in school, we got a little bit of history. And so this situation that we're in has been bubbling since the French Revolution. Then it moved into the 1850s. This is part of the talk that Allison and I used to give when Darwinian evolution made its debut along with eugenics, etc. And we've gotten very far afield from our God understanding that God created us. So now communism that used to be cloak and dagger and nobody would say it out loud. They would meet quietly. Now it's out in public. Now we have people that are like, yeah, I'm a communist. Yeah, I'm using the Democratic Party to get what I want. Who cares? Democratic socialism, whatever. And even the news media is so dumb. I'm sorry, but I don't have another word for it. That you even see them going, yeah, democratic socialism. And they think this sounds great. It's a new shiny object that we're like, you don't understand, do you? What we're dealing with here. And so you're right. No, we have no idea what we're doing.
Well,
we have no idea what's around the corner. We have no idea that we have no idea.
We posted the video of us reacting to the imam in Huntsville's comments, and there was a handful of people in the comments saying, like, I'm in Huntsville. I had no idea this was going on.
Yeah.
I'm right down the road from this place. I had no idea. Why am I just not figuring this out? So I think there's a lot of it. People just like
They don't
genuinely don't know.
Okay, well,
And that's what we're here for.
Make you know. You're not going to have an excuse. I want us and our listeners, watchers, to name this revolution. We need to give it a name. I don't know.
Rightside revolution.
Okay, we could do that. But I think it needs to be
a good one.
Think about it. We need something that when we say it, everybody knows what we're talking about. And it's a thing. Because we need to name the war that we're in. It's officially time. We'll lead it. We just need to know what we're fighting and who's with us. Hey, and we can make t-shirts.
We can make t-shirts.
Yeah, we're going to make revolution t-shirts. We just need to know what to call the revolution.
By the way, Allison, did you
Yes, sir.
You said you sent a clip for the Muslim Minute.
Oh, I sent a few yesterday in Treehouse.
Which one?
Well, you can choose which one.
It's not the South African, but he can be one of them or no?
Well, we could play that one actually.
Oh, I found one. Okay, hold on. Just to get it download.
Yeah. So Muslim Minute's going to happen every day. Oh, yeah, like the one that they're eating.
Whichever one you sent and said this is the Muslim Minute.
Okay, I can't even remember what it was. But do you have our Muslim Minute opening?
Yeah, so we're gonna debut the sound effect for the Muslim Minute. Here we go.
5:30, time to pray.
No, Shirley.
Straight to jail.
Is that what you were doing yesterday?
Yes. Allah.
South Park.
All
right. Hit it.
I was too busy watching that. I didn't pull the other clip up.
It's okay.
There we go.
We all need a minute to recover.
Okay. Here we go.
Unfortunately, these days we don't repeat this enough, or we don't have this aqidah concept firm in our minds that Islam did not come to coexist. Islam Islam لا يعلى. Islam يعلو ولا يعلى عليه. And Islam is raised high and nothing is raised above Islam. We can't think of Islam that it came to live with these other religions, in the sense that Islam is a religion amongst those religions, and they have a share with the truth, and they have a share of justice, and they have a share of, this worship of Allah, the correct worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Islam came to correct all of that. Islam came to remove the oppression of all those religions, and it is the only truth, and it is the only way to justice.
So on Thursday, I will do a quick plunge, and I brought up yesterday the Muslim dilemma, because it just exalted itself. And this person said that it's the truth, basically. And this is Islam's the only way, and Allah is the only God. I mean, basically, this is it. But I have, because some of you have asked us, how do you fight back? Well, we fight back as believers through several different ways. But one of them is understanding all of the liberties they take with the word of God and then twist it. And there's a simple way to have a conversation with those who follow Islam. And it's called, for us, the conversation is called the Muslim dilemma, and getting them there in a conversation. Because he just took the liberty to say that Islam is the truth, and we know that that is not the truth. We know that it is not true. But we also understand that they are brave in their beliefs. They do not mince words. And meanwhile, many of us around here go, wait, that's in Huntsville already? This guy is saying this publicly already? We got to do something about it. And so when Allison says we've got to name the revolution, we've got to name the revolution. Our first war against the Barbary pirates happened here. Like, that's why we had a navy, was to fight against the Barbary pirates. So this didn't just happen. It's been around a long time. But what has changed is our ability to deal with Islam and with those adherents of that faith, because we don't know truth anymore. And because we don't know truth, we've lost our backbone and our ability to see clearly. That is not the case on the right side. And that's really why we're going to be doing Muslim Minutes every day, because we all need to know so that we can be prepared to fight back.
He actually said that was an imam from Chicago, which if you're watching what's happening in Chicago, it is the Muslim population is growing exponentially. But he says, and y'all, this is the thing. Don't fall into the trap of saying, but they were so nice to me down this when I met them at the doors of the grocery store, or we went and had coffee and they were so nice. He is telling you, as a leader of the Muslim community and in their mosque, what their ideology is. And it is, we are not here to coexist. He says we are here to correct all other religions. Keep going. Keep digging into what correction means, and you will get to the heart of what they plan to do. And if you convince yourself otherwise, you are a fool. That's it. You are a fool.
And I'll also add, and then we can get to allegedly, it's 11:45, but I'll also add for those, because part of the revolution should also be to minister and convert those who are able to be converted from Islam to Christianity. And there actually is an entry point, because they do believe that Jesus was a great prophet of Allah. Obviously that's wrong, but they actually think that he was crucified. They think he was taken up before he could die, because Allah wouldn't let a great prophet die like that. So they do hold, and they actually think Jesus is coming back, is going to judge. So they hold Jesus in a reverence. Obviously, they don't think he is the Son of God, which is where we'd have to cross that bridge and get them over. But there is an entry point, because there's other religions like the Jewish religion where they think Jesus is burning in human excrement in hell, whereas at least Islam holds Jesus in some reverence. There's an entry point to all that needs to be convinced, or we need to convince them of, is, hey, no, he's actually the Son of God. He is God. And you could help. That's where I'm fascinated with all the Islam versus Christian debates, because it's all centered around the facts that Jesus is actually the Son of God. He's not just a prophet. He wasn't, lifted up from the cross because Allah wouldn't let him die. He is God, and he is coming back to return. So I think that if you want to do your research to convince those who are able to be converted, do as much research as you can on facts and evidence in the Bible that Jesus is the Son of God. He did claim to be God. He will come back to judge as God. So there is an entry point with those in Islam. So obviously have your guard up and don't be stupid to the Muslims that want to chop your head off, but also be prepared for the Muslims who may be open or willing to be converted and ministered to. There is an entry point with Islam in terms of Jesus. You just have to convince them that, no, he is the Son of God.
And you can start with the Muslim dilemma. Type it in and look it up. But we will dish out information because it doesn't do us any good to know it, and then nobody else does. We need to become educated. And there are other things. Hopefully, I've saved a clip that perhaps we will share with you tomorrow, doing exactly what JP has just said. But then beyond that, learning how to communicate, both as we minister, but also fundamentally understanding what we're up against. And it's so old, from 632 AD is what we're talking about. And it's only ever gone one way. And it's always against the Christians and the Jews. And so we have to decide, will we be like the Crusaders of old? And will we fight back?
Just a side note, I found out yesterday that Imam that we played the clip of in Huntsville, he teaches at the University of Alabama, Huntsville, and he went to school at the University of Alabama.
Great. So
lovely.
Great.
Are we going to allegedly?
Yes.
Allegedly.
Yes, we are going to allegedly.
Because I need to laugh a little.
All right.
And JP, could you explain allegedly? Because there are still some people that just didn't get it. They don't get what we're doing.
Well, I'm so glad you asked.
Yes.
Because actually last time when we did allegedly, when it was just this lady and myself, you were off on the beach vacationing. I actually explained this allegedly, because I think people need to start to hear before each allegedly that we're not mocking nobody. We're not making fun of nobody. We're just gossiping. we're gossiping in Southern voices like those who are at the corner saloon or something like that, or for these two, the salon. But we're just talking about news of the day.
The difference is 1 O.
Yes, it's
Yep,
1 O.
yep,
The
it's so
saloon
close.
is where I would hang at. The salon is where y'all would hang at. So, anywho, we're not mocking. We're just talking about stories of the day in a gossipy voice, all under the guise of allegedly, so that we don't get sued for any allegations or defamations that may be
Yes.
accidentally hurled. But that is the point of allegedly.
I think our friend in Spokane, Washington, would have been really confused if you hadn't done that.
And there allegedly would be a ponytail with skinny jeans and a latte from the local Starbucks. And as we talk about how happy we are about the birthright citizenship ruling, America is saved. That would be there allegedly. Anywho.
Well, who wants to go first?
Are you looking at me?
Yeah. Oh, is it Mildred that's here today?
Well, Mildred is here today. And Mildred has kind of a strange story.
Uh-oh.
It's strange, but it's also a little happy because I think we need some more of this. Y'all ever think when you're a child that you'd like to be Batman? Or you'd like for Batman to come and hip you?
I mean, I am Batman. So
well, I don't know if you use the same Batman that's in Mexico, but there's a Batman in Mexico. He's in Jalisco, that same place where you can get some real good drinks, and they're Jalisco drinks, and they're tasty. They're beverages that they ain't alcoholic. They ain't alcoholic. They're just tasty. And sometimes if you're feeling frisky, you can go over to the Mexican grocery store and buy some. Okay. Anywho, it must be because I had some tortillas last night for supper, and this story just caught my attention. But y'all, in the state of Mexico, in Jalisco, is in Jalisco, KRS2. The answer is to this story, yo soy Batman. According to authorities, a masked vigilante is swooping in, beating up bad guys, and leaving them gift wrap for the cops to pick up. In Jalisco.
L.I.P.
I know. Tras la falta de ayuda por parte de las autoridades. Un arrow enemigo esposa Kazar. Basically, what that says.
You please interpret. I do not comprende.
I don't either, barely. I can barely read, but apparently at least 5 men were discovered helplessly duct taped to street poles over 10 days beginning on June the 13th in the area of Lagos de Moreno, Jalisco.
Can y'all see that picture?
I see it, and I like it a
I
lot.
ship it. Many of the alleged thieves also have mustaches, cat whiskers, and the Spanish word for thief scrawled on their faces, according to several images. And I would just like to say, sometimes I think we need a Batman here.
Hold up.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you saying that Batman draws mustaches and whiskers?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
He dropped.
Listen to this. Look at this. This is my hero, Batman. He done drawn on their faces, and he said, "Ayuda comprende muy mal," and he leave them taped up.
Stop.
Yes.
What you
Yes.
gonna do if you're in that situation? How do you get out? You gotta just wait until somebody
You
comes
gotta
by.
wait till the morning light, and they come for you, and they're over there going, "Ayuda me!
Help
Or they're
me!
saying,
Help me!" You know what's so funny? Why I love that story? Because even if you get untaped, you still gotta walk around with whiskers.
Yep.
And
You gotta-
everybody knows what you are.
And think about them poor little fellers they got to rip off the duct tape and probably ripped off their arm hair too, which is a double punishment.
Which by the way, for our English friends, is Spanish for for you to understand better. translate that.
That's really good. That's really good. Oh, Mildred, you're so funny. That was good.
Thank you, my friend.
I don't
Thank
even
you, Phyllis.
want to do my story because it's stupid. It's
It ain't
more.
stupid. Believe in yourself.
Yeah, well, it's just not even. It's too serious. I don't even think I want to do it no more.
Well, then I got an allegedly.
Okay, you go.
I mean, mine's kind of serious, but it needs to be said. Allegedly. Allegedly, yet another residency challenge has failed for one of the Republican nominees of John Wall. But I just think we need to have a discussion about these residency challenges, especially when sometimes they're coming from the right. I'll just say this. Allegedly, I think the Democrats are trying to use the residency as a way because they know that they can't win in November. I would just like to caution those Republicans who are maybe being used as a better term of useful idiots by the Democrats to try and split us from within. Now, listen, if there's an actual residency challenge and something that is warranted to look into, then I understand that. I'm for the law and transparency. But with Tuberville and his constant residency issues that are just so stupid and grasping at straws, John Wall, the same thing, grasping at straws. I think the story here is that is the only way the Democrats can win in November, is to get them off the ballot. But I will caution those Republicans, be careful, because those who think they're fighting for the truth, they may be being used to split us up, and the Democrats are over there giggling in the corner. I'll just say that. But allegedly, like I said, the allegedly part of this is that I think the Democrats are using this as their only way to win, because they can't win on the ballot in a red state like Alabama. They got to take us out from underneath.
That's good, Hiram.
Just saying, Hiram.
That's real good.
Hiram. Well, I will say, I don't know if we talked about it, but did y'all see the numbers of the steering committee and what the vote was on the John Walls?
Well, no,
Was it
ma'am.
unanimous?
No.
Oh, mighty close.
It was a 14-4.
What?
Yes, so there were 4 people in that room that said he may not be legit.
Oh, I declare I did not know.
Mm-hmm. I don't know who it was. Well, it still failed. Still tied. Can we just handle this before? Like, I just do some checking before we all have to go in that ballot booth, that polling booth. What do we call them? The station?
The
check the
polling
box
place before you go in the ballot box before you just fill it in.
The bubbling station.
Yes.
Because I'm getting really tired of all this.
It's exhausting.
I'd like to just move on.
You have a new allegedly before we run out of time.
Yeah, I know. We always run out of time. I just want, there's this thing coming on that's called the Kids Act, and it sounds really, really good.
Oh, yes.
And I don't know. It's split. It's weird. The House up in D.C., those people, those big fancy people, they voted on it yesterday. And there were a bunch of Republicans that voted no, and there were a bunch of Republicans that voted yes, and there were 47 members of Congress that just didn't vote at all. And I think that's interesting. I don't know what it means, but, Congressman Tim Burchett, he's from the great state of Tennessee. He's coming down here on July 31st to talk to us, and he put out a video out about it. And I don't think we have time to go into the whole thing.
We play it right now.
Okay, well, there's a bigger discussion that maybe we'll get to, but allegedly this whole Kids Act thing might be a Trojan horse.
You don't say.
Well, that's what Tim is saying.
Is Timmy saying that?
Yeah, Timmy says it. Can you roll the tape?
Tim Burchett, 2 bills on the floor tonight. One was reauthorization of a terrorist insurance program. It's going to save about $1 billion. Reduce the deficit by $1 billion. The other one's the Kids Act. Sounds great. It's supposed to strengthen all this stuff on online protection for kids. But guess who wrote it? big tech. And guess what? They eliminated themselves from any liability. And guess what else? The state of Tennessee has some really tough laws because we've got a great legislature. And so they can't make laws tougher than what we just implemented. It takes away some parental rights. Anyway, I voted no. Of course it passed, but it probably won't even brought up in the Senate. Anyway, thank y'all so much for sending me here.
Do you think we could talk about that tomorrow?
I think we need to talk about it because I think it might be a little scuttlebuttly.
Oh, that's a good word.
Yeah.
We got to talk about it then.
There's some strong Republicans for it and some strong Republicans against it, and they might just have a little hiccup. And I don't know what to think. I think we need to revisit it.
I do too.
It's like Forrest Gump came out. Maybe it's the British hat. I don't know.
We need to revisit it.
We need to revisit
Jenny.
it. Down in Greensboro, Alabama.
Talk about the Kids Act, Jenny.
Can we do that tomorrow?
You kind of look like Jenny.
She does look like Jenny.
She does.
Maybe we bring a box of chocolates tomorrow.
She does.
Oh, say less.
So, y'all, I don't know. Tomorrow we have Tara Lathan. She'll be here from Greensboro, Alabama. Actually, I don't know where she's from. But we're going to talk schools and such. And it'll be a really good show. And we'll see you tomorrow, Forrest.